Our behavior is the American way.
Ladies and gentlemen, here's Victor Alice, New Sports, written and directed by the bald-headed black man. Here it comes. Hot, sporty, Vic! Sports, jockstraps, foot fungus, all these sporty things.
Yeah. All right. I'll give him about a 3 on that one. Okay, you guys. Welcome to New Sports. And if you don't know, we're not in the barbershop, but we pretend like we get our hair cut. Well, Mario doesn't get his hair cut, and I don't have any hair to cut. So we're just going to bring the barbershop in the room, and we're going to talk about 3 topics that have nothing to do with the most famous topics from the most trending topics over the weekend, because you had all kinds of stuff. I'm not going to talk about the British Open with Tiger Woods losing and falling to the left side. I'm not going to talk about NASCAR. I'm not going to talk about that when they highlight the NHRA drag racing, that the featured competition is the dragster women. Now, you know they've come a long way where they say our highlight race of the event. And you got 2 women.
I always forget that when they say a drag race. I always think of RuPaul running down the street in heels.
This is what I said. Here we go. See where he's going. But nobody know. I don't even know what RuPaul is. Who is that?
You don't know RuPaul? He's funny.
Yeah, he? Okay. All right. The other part of it, I'm going to tell you got 3 topics. This is going to be interesting. First of all, bark at a dog, go to jail. That's Florida law. Florida law. If you also have been a coach and you say, look, when I talk to you, I have to ask you a couple of questions. What's your religion? You haven't had sex, right? You're a virgin, right? Okay. I just want to make sure. That's Coach Becky Francis, former Oakland University coach, who has now been fired because they've learned a lot since she's been gone.
She was interviewing people asking if they were virgins?
These were her former players. 15 of them already have held accounts about what their traumatic experience has been, but I haven't finished.
Having to lie about their virginity.
Wait a minute, stop. Wait, we're not over. We got the 3rd topic. You know, when you are actually in a custody battle.
I'm getting sound effects.
When you're in a custody battle, and it's with a big-time ball player. Let's use D. Wade. And all of a sudden, you know that through your custody battle, you get the children. Everything's working out fine.
He got the children.
Yes, he got the children.
That says something already.
Right.
Because they usually won't do that.
But
that says something already.
Wait a minute now.
Okay.
I just want you to understand that you can still protest. And if you protest, make sure that you don't let the public know that you've fired at least 12 attorneys during your whole course.
Oh, she's one crazy. This is an example of learning who not to have sex with. Because poor Dwayne Wade, yeah.
Wait, no. A lot of us have situations where we are in poor situations because you feel for us. But man, this is big time D Wade. So let's start off with the first subject. Let me just tell you about the story of Florida Gator linebacker Antonio Morrison, arrested for barking at dog. Well, the story is there was a call out. You know, police got a call out about something they had to investigate. Had nothing to do with Morris. Had nothing to do with his troop, his fellas. It was about several men walking down the street, and as this police car pulled over the side, ready to do his work. He's Florida now. He's doing his job. He's actually sitting there making sure that they're looked at in a good light. Then one man, just one man only, at 3:43 in the morning, says, I want to walk up to the car with the window open and bark at the dog in the back seat. We want to give the arresting document and portfolio the champion of being an idiot, Antonio Morrison. Now, Mario, I'm just saying this right now. What kind of man will walk up to a car?
Crazy or high, but shows you Florida. Now, usually had it been a white man, probably they would have said he's crazy or high, and then they would have drove away and left him. See what I'm saying? They would have said, that's the only difference.
Wait.
He's a black man, they go, he's crazy and high.
Right.
Let's arrest him.
Did he volunteer himself to get in that position?
Well, I'm just saying, anyone, I mean, you walk up to a police car in Florida, even the white folks go, he's a black guy with dreadlocks who's walking up on a police car. Right. First of all. I mean, even if you're going up to ask him for help. You may be using poor judgment.
Wait a minute.
Now he gonna go up and bark at the man's dog. And police bind to their dog.
Wait a minute.
I mean, they really bond. They bond and they love their dogs. And so, like, I'm with PMC. He's lucky he's not dead.
Wait a minute.
And he could have got shot.
Right.
He could have got shot, and they would have showed that same picture and said, "Look at this black man. Look at his hair. I had to shoot him. I had to shoot him." When they look like this, and then everybody goes, "Oh yeah, look at him. He had." And usually, if they look like this and they're dark skinned, everybody goes, "Oh yeah, you had to shoot him.
Wait a minute.
Look at his hair."
Wait a minute. Let me just say there's a side of this that you're not picking up on. You got it. You covered it real well, man. I got to give you A+. But there's the other side. See,
Look
the
at his
story,
hair.
The story is not because he barked at the dog. The story is he got arrested because the dog barked back.
Like I said, you know, the dog was named Bear,
That's right.
and he's irritating the dog. And this is Florida.
Wait a minute.
You also cannot do that in Louisiana, Texas.
Wait a minute. How many people have in their mind that they go up there? Here's a dog trained to attack. I'm going to not only walk up to a police car, but most people just don't want to walk up to at 3:30 in the morning.
Right, that's why I said the police are not really that stupid. They know he's either high or crazy or both. Usually there are people who are on meds who either, when you mix those psych meds with alcohol, that's when you're out in the middle of the street naked directing traffic. Right. Okay? That's a really bad combination. Almost any of those psych meds. Right. PMC will tell you from his job. You mix those with alcohol, you're standing around naked in the middle of the street.
Right.
Okay.
So far, no report as of any intoxication or anything like that.
Well, like I said, crazy or high.
Right. He's crazy.
Yeah.
He's crazy.
No, and he's actually a Florida Gators linebacker.
Now, here's where this story rates. Exiting out of this story. Rated on the scale of Trayvon Martin, of course, Zimmerman. No, it doesn't rate. But in lieu of that, Florida, let's rate it. Trayvon Martin, which is a travesty, and George Zimmerman. Pothole City. The Everglades already with gators. Snake-infested pythons all coming up through the south. And now you got man barking at dogs. Meter reader Mario, scale 1 to 10. How important is this story?
2.
That's what I figured. Okay.
-2.
-2. All right. I just wanted to let you guys know.
But that's okay. I'm still saying, look at his hair, man.
Man, dude, there's nothing wrong with his hair, man.
They love to show you, whenever they arrest black folks, they make your hair nappy.
Okay.
Because they know that scares the shit out of white folks. Don't have nappy hair.
There's no such thing as nappy.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about. Don't have an afro all lopsided and all which way. Scare the hell out of jury. You're definitely going to jail if you look like that.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. Story number 2. This one is a big one. This is big, and we fell for it. But, there is a university called Oakland University, and there is a coach who is renowned for being a player's coach. Maybe not in the way you think, but let's just go on to Becky Francis, because Becky got fired June 10th, probably about June 12th or 10th, something like that, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock in the morning. It's early. Now, here's the story. The girls are coming forward now who are saying, this coach was over the top. We really didn't focus on basketball. First thing she would focus on is, have you had sex? You haven't had sex, right? You haven't had sex, right? You're a virgin, right? That's number 1. That's number 1. Number 2, weight. Made sure would sit there and go after the girls to make sure their weight, would look at them and say, let me see your six-pack. Let me see if you got a six-pack. Got to see a six-pack. That's number 2. Number 3, intimidation. Intimidation meaning that if all of a sudden you're sitting there and your compatriots, your team members are shooting a free throw, and all of a sudden, all the team members are supposed to clap. Well, she didn't stand up and clap. So this one player, I won't mention her name, said she made sure she pointed out to me that the reason we lost the game is because I didn't stand up and clap.
That's normal. Now that's the first normal one. That's like all coaches have stupid quirks like that. Right. I'm sure Bobby Knight had a way that you were supposed to respond.
That's right.
And whether or not he told you, it was certainly unlearned.
Right.
I'm sure.
You lost the game because
I'm sure. I'm sure they all have nut stuff.
Right. Well,
but obviously she's not concerned with fashion or makeup.
No, she's not. and the fourth and the most critical one is when you impose your religious views of what you need to be doing. That's the catcher. That's the one that drops you drops you into the funk. Now, let me just...
Well, that's why you should coach at Brigham Young or something.
Wait a minute, stop.
Because they have colleges that's what they're all about.
Wait a minute.
Why aren't you coaching there?
Wait a minute. Let me keep going, because the story's more readable than it is that it's crazy. It's the part that her husband, may I say, her husband, at the time, was the president of the university. And to show you how big pimpin' he is, he made sure that when he signed the contract, he says, if any controversy arises with the university as it relates to my tenure or anything that stands under that no one can talk about it, you'll be liable for it. So he can't answer questions right now because he says no comment, so he can protect his wife. Now, Maury, my question is, the girls who are responding, I'm not going to make light of this part, when they're young, they don't know the difference between is this right behavior or not. A lot of the girls some of the girls were crying because they had to go back through this, and they now know they're going to be approaching something here that's going to be an issue. They found out, unfortunately, that this woman was abused sexually as a young child. How did she get clear and free of getting this job?
Well, once again, Vic, I hate to say it, but I don't think that she's that different from a whole bunch of coaches. You just had the guy fired. Nowadays, today, right, newly arrived on the scene is a new sense of consciousness,
right,
that says coaches are not supposed to be like this. The reality is that they always have been,
that's right,
talking you in oppressive ways about religion.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were on a team, what if you're not believing, but when the team goes rah-rah and does the team prayer, you did it whether or not you were that religion or not, right?
True.
So they always have used that. They always have had fixations on body and things to show you, as far as I know.
Right.
And they've always used intimidation.
Absolutely.
So I don't go. So to me, I think what you're going to hear from some folks, and I don't know, even though I think it's good in general we're moving away from coaches like this. But you are going to have to deal with the fact that some people are going to say this is selective,
right? Because
she's a woman,
right?
They're going to say men get to do this, and you give them TV anchor jobs,
right?
Okay, so what are you saying? Because I say, isn't Bobby Knight that?
Right.
Okay, so but he's not ostracized at all, right?
No, and a lot to be said is coming up. We don't know all the information. One thing they did point to is that there's a national average, what they call turnovers, where students leave the program or what have you. So the average in the women's college division is about 13%. She had an enormously high, reaching 35%. Leaving her program, and of course they didn't know why.
Probably because they didn't win too. Let's put it like this. See, this is what's always amazing to me, because as much as I liked, and Pat Summit from Tennessee, right?
Right.
I'm sure I saw intimidation just on the regular. So to me, I go like, here's the thing. I bet you she wasn't winning, because usually when you win, you get a pass.
About average.
So there you go.
She was average. She wasn't a top program.
Right. Then she would have got a pass. Right. Because to me, whenever you win and you're like this, you get a pass. To me, on every level. That's the story to me. That's what I see.
Right.
Maybe some people try to tell me it's different. I say, no, that's what I see today.
Yeah.
They still get rewarded.
Right.
Right.
It's exacerbated. What happens is when you're not winning, they go find all the extensions that may contribute to it. If you're winning, like Mario says, they'll give you a pass. That's just the way system is. You know, they say the hardest working, the more disciplined, tend to get the better results, but it also can have the ramifications of the how you're impacted, even if you're young. When you have children or kids, these are 16, 17, 18, well, let's just say 18 or older because they're in college. It may not rain the same way. We understand that because we've all had harsh leaderships in
How
college.
many coaches have grabbed a player physically grabbed a player and shook him or grabbed? What percent? Come on, how many?
Right.
Damn near a whole hell of a lot.
Right.
Okay?
They can't. They're not
whole
allowing
hell of a lot.
What they're not allowing now is because now the reporting of what happens when there's a disastrous situation. Not that it's never existed before, but now people are being made aware of it because social media, the reporting of stuff, and people can go back in the history coming back. So it's just one of those stories where you sit there and when you read the level of the story from the player side. They're young kids. I don't expect them to disseminate the way adults do looking back because of their history, because most kids don't go back to their parents' time to relate it to their current treatment time. They
just and again, that's why this is changing, because you have a different group of youth. They've been subject to a lot more privilege,
right,
and been told that things are supposed to be nice and right for them all the time. So they kind of expect that. They go like, "You're not supposed to yell at me."
Right. Right.
Why are you yelling at me?
Well, yelling, yeah. If you can't get over yelling, you got a problem.
I said, see, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, I agree.
This is today. And so you're going to have an adjustment period between the sports folks as they try to attempt to deal with the new youth.
Well, the part they're going to probably go after with this young lady, if that, is that they're going to say you issued your own type of therapy.
Because the only one they're going to get her on is which one is only the virgin thing.
Yeah. And
then a lot of people are going to say, well, that's good that she stands up for that.
That's why I was saying, how bad is it?
Compared to who? That's why I go like, to me, it sounds like every male of every major program.
Right.
The ones that aren't like this stand out, right?
Well, and I'll say this. I agree with you, Mara. I absolutely agree. I say when the university already says she's on paid leave, unpaid leave, that's one thing. But when they fire you outright, that means the other information is they have the other information we don't have, and it's probably a depth of information that's yet to be reported, and I think is coming because of the nature of how many people's involved. So I mean, I agree with you. It's one of those things where you say, how bad is it? I say, we'll find out with more information being forthcoming. Now we have to go to this story because I always say that protesters have been mostly aligned with Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. Not in the case of D. Wade's ex-wife. When the woman takes to a position that all of a sudden you say, how could you ever see this coming this day? You have to stop and say, after losing a long custody battle over couple's 2 children, Funches Wade, I believe her name is Siobhan Funches Wade.
See, don't marry no babes with no names like that.
Had a sign that read, NBA Miami Heat star, mother of his children on the streets.
You know what?
All right, now, come on.
Okay.
Come on, I'm just saying.
I had a girl who was harassing me, came to my pajama party dressed as a ghost. I was dancing with the ghost. I don't know who the ghost was. Then the phone rang a little later, and she was like, "And that was me. I was that ghost." So I know what it's like to be stalked by some crazy, and you never should have did it like you did.
Right.
Now they crazy.
Now they crazy.
Somewhere in this, I ain't gonna go there, but you never should have did it like you did. Now imagine this. When I was in medical school,
right?
Okay. There was another classmate of mine, who had one of the nurses he was sleeping with, drove into the middle of the campus, took off all her clothes, and jumped up on the top of the hood, with a sign.
I'm just saying.
So D. Wade.
See, I'm sorry. First of all, if you guys want to learn,
this is terrible. Look, she's all well dressed. She's on the ground, hair look good. I mean, for what I can see, hair all done.
Wait a minute,
man.
If you guys want to see more,
and I don't even like her writing. Obviously, she probably look at this writing. So obviously, she's not a super speller. She was having trouble. Like she squeezed that mother, his. Children, does she have a D in it? Because down south they say children.
Yeah, it's a D there.
Children on the streets.
On the streets. Okay, now wait a minute.
I'm just saying she's down there on the ground, nails looking good.
Wait a minute.
So this is his crazy woman.
Yes,
ex.
Now I'm just saying
isn't he raising some of his other family kids too?
He's doing, and
he made mistakes like the rest of his brothers.
Well, I'm just saying. Here, the part that if you want to get more information, I will put the link. It's the link. It's not made for us to see. It's a 7 minute.
She's just trying to embarrass him.
7 minutes. 7 minutes of her interview of what she's stating. I look at this as that you have to look back and say, and I'm gonna say this. Please understand. I'm not saying what you think I'm saying.
PFC says she's absolutely crazy.
Wait, this is the part I'm saying.
I mean, but damn, doesn't that bring chills to a lot of the men out there? Didn't you just get chills? Tell the truth. You were reliving a past experience.
See, My point is
I'm
this.
just saying, I had them.
Sometimes, they call it deliverance. D. Wade has to stop and say this. Out of this traumatic situation came that I was liberated from thee. I've had to say that it's been better for me.
And he looks at you. You look at your children, and sometimes that's what you treasure.
Right.
You have the children that you love and treasure. Yeah, I'm just saying. To me, it reminds me, of how, that girl was poison. What's that song?
Yeah, I know.
Never trust a big button to smile.
Right. But look, first of all, I feel for the children because I do want the children to know their mom because that's important.
They're going to have videos like this of their mom.
Look.
When they get older, someone's got school going to say, hey, ain't this your mom on the sidewalk?
Right.
Because, if I didn't like you,
you know what?
I would have had it on my iPad, too. Hey,
you think about
this your mom?
She went from, I didn't want to put up that picture. The ocean shot with D. Wade and her silhouette, the whole thing, to now you're at this point. It's sports now, you guys. This is sports. This is the result.
New sports.
This is new sports. Controversial and beyond because this is beyond to me. I'm actually sitting here. She is sitting on the cement by herself with that one sign. She's going, I've exhausted everything. I want you guys to know he needs to do more. She didn't ever say that he's not doing anything. She feels he needs to do more.
Well, let's see what happens. All I know is it kind of scares me. I have heard lately, too, Vic, of people's parents. In other words, I've heard of friends of ours that are our age that their kids are involved in something like this. I know a mother who went to the woman, her son's girlfriend,
right,
and basically threatened her and said, my son is nice, I will kill you. I will jack you up. Okay, went to the girl.
Right.
Say, I don't have a nice, you see my son, I ain't nice. And I will.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And the girl, backed off.
Look, I'm not.
I'm just saying, you hear crazy stuff today.
All day.
Parents are getting involved
all day. Now, PMC, yes, you're right. Her sister was there to back her up. But we're talking about the idea that she has gone to this point of saying, I've gone through a court case. I'm going to sit down on the cement. Now, I wish it would have told me where it was. I didn't say anything about the location. But to that point, who is she talking to? See, it's that part where you say where your mind is going.
Right.
I'm going, these are, and in the video, when you guys see the video, you'll see people just walking by. She
just yelled out to people.
Yeah, no, she's just talking to the interviewer. There's an interviewer right there talking to her.
Now, of course, PMC says, they do shit like calling you out in the mall. I said, PMC, so that's what happened to you, huh? See, I had the ghost.
Right.
And PMC had a mall incident.
I'm
just saying, everybody's had something, right?
Everybody's had something. And you still feel for the children. The children are in a good position. Everything's wonderful. She just wants more. This is her way of exacting more. And so I'll just say, New Sports continues with controversy and beyond. I'm not going to talk about anything else until it gets a little bit controversial or beyond.
She looked good, though.
She looks, hey, look. You should see the beautiful pictures of her. You just go, wow.
Don't marry anyone with names like this.
No.
Siobhan no. Hell no. Hell no. Just off the... It'll be more you bias. Hell no. I'm just saying. And plus, women named after fruit are always hoes. Peaches.
That's wrong.
Whenever they have names like Peaches and Candy, stuff like that, don't marry them either. Yeah. Every Peaches I ever known.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all. Every Candy.
Yeah. If you guys want to see the video, I posted it in the chat room. You could click the link if you want to see. It's about 6.5 minutes. The audio's not that great, but it'll give you a gist of what she's saying. And she's giving you the court and her position and everything. So I'm out of here on New Sports, you guys. Until tomorrow. Yeah, that's been a blast.
It's New Sports. Controversial. Gator linebacker arrested for barking at dog in Florida. Coach says no sex, no fat. And D-Wade's ex acts just like one of our exes.